Hello, my YouTube subscribers. Thank you for tuning in once again to Celebrity and Variety Talk with Josie Latimer. I am your host, Josie Latimer. Today, I'm coming to you with another story by that was surrounding A.J. Armstrong Jr., the gentleman you see here, over here on the right side of your screen. This was the case about these two beautiful people being murdered in their own home with pillows over their heads and shot in the head execution style. Now, the cops received a 911 call by A.J. Armstrong Jr. and was told that there was an intruder, a masked man, in the home and that his parents had been shot. Okay, now the reason this young man is a suspect because in the home it was only him and his sister here in the home with the parents. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4. Those four in the home at the time of the murder. And they found the gun, the weapon that was used, sitting in the kitchen on the kitchen counter with a note saying, "I've been watching you," or something of that sort. Now, the police at first, when they went to the location, this young man had to disarm the alarm. He disarmed the alarm and let the cops in. And I think there was a little problem with him disarming that alarm, but it took some time to disarm it. So at first, when they went in, they went around, I guess, looking for an intruder, a masked man or whatever it was, an intruder in the property, and they didn't see anybody. Then when they saw the note and the gun sitting on the kitchen counter, that led them to believe that this young man was possible a suspect. The reason being is because the gun was sitting on the counter with a note. Most of us know that intruders wouldn't have your weapon. They would come in with their very own weapon, right? I mean, and then they wouldn't leave it on the counter. I don't think so. I think they would try to take that weapon with them so that there would not be evidence to prove that it was them. But the reason the weapon was left on the counter because it did not have fingerprints of any sort, which is why the trial is going on, because he has not actually been proven guilty. He had a mistrial, and I think it's going to resume in October of this year. But someone killed these two beautiful people, and justice has to be served. So we must not forget the Armstrong parents here, AJ Sr. and Dawn, the mother of these two kids here. The young man was in Kincaid School, which is a prestigious school. They paid a lot of money to have him in that school, I think like $30,000 a year or something like that. And both of their kids were in prestigious schools, and I think he was a star player on the football team. But lately, prior to their deaths, he was getting in a lot of trouble. So A.J. Armstrong Jr. here was getting the heat from his parents, and especially his mother. His mother was really on his butt, and they had all of the text messages proving that she was really on him, because she was saying, "We're spending all her money." The daddy was on him saying, "I'm going to take your car because you have to show us and prove to us that you're worthy of this vehicle." And they possibly had taken the car. It was a Mustang, I understand, from what I hear. So the trial is still, it's a mistrial. So he almost got off, but I think he was put in juvenile for about 8 or 9 months or something like that. And his grandmother saved him. His grandmother, who was a minister, she went and bailed her grandson out of the juvenile detention center where he was, because she, in fact, in her own mind, believes that her grandson was innocent. Well, now look, we all know that kids they can get with the wrong company, they can start messing with drugs. You don't never know what these kids can do if they are getting out of hand. At one point, they had them under control. Then all of a sudden he got out of hand. And even his girlfriend, who was the blonde on the stand, she even said that he needed to stop selling drugs and partying and doing all this, smoking weed and doing all this crazy stuff. She admitted that on the stand. Before she admitted that, she wasn't trying to help the DA at all. And so then when they pulled out those text messages, she had to tell the truth that yes, he was selling drugs, smoking drugs, so forth and so on. And she had been getting on him about all of this stuff, this madness that he was doing. So now the cops said that when they went out to the home, they saw, well, actually, they asked him about the gun, and he kind of denied it. And then they go, well, what is this bullet hole in your floor? They found a gunshot hole in the floor, in his room, on the floor, with socks covering the hole. I guess trying to, and that was a kid's move, because I think he was only, 14 or something, 14 or 16 years old when it first happened. Yeah, he's 19. I think he was either maybe 16 when that happened. He's 19, I think, now. So they waited until he got older and then to try him as an adult, you guys. But what do you guys think? So then as the trial went on and on and on and on, it was really, really something, because he had a lot of supporters that just didn't want to believe that he did it. I mean, you have people that can be smooth and cool. Kids, too, they can be just as sharp and smooth as a smooth criminal. So then they said he did it. The adopted son, they put it on the adopted son. However, the adopted son girlfriend said that he was at her house and she went to bed around 10 o'clock, so she don't know what happened, but he was supposedly been there playing games with his cousin. Now look, this young man loved this woman. They even kind of look alike, even though she adopted him. Look, the nose, the eyes. He loved her. Why would he kill her? Why would he kill someone that took him in and loved him? He was happy with her. He loved his mother. This young man was angry at his mother because the text messages showed that he even told them that, well, there's nothing I guess I could do anyway because you're not going to believe me. He was very, very angry at his mother because of the fact that she was really getting on him about his grades, and he got kicked out of the prestigious school. The coach called his dad and told his dad his grades had dropped. The young man was just angry at his parents, and in my own mind, I do believe that he was guilty. Now, the reason I believe that he was guilty, because of the fact that why put it on your brother later? Why would he put it on his oldest brother? And his sister got on the stand saying, well, he was adopted. He was jealous of us because we were the biological kids. That was very weak. That was very weak. Because to put it on an adopted child like that, the child had already went through trauma in his life. And they go, and he had been doing drugs. Well, the girlfriend said he had been doing drugs also. So why would they put it on him saying he had been doing drugs? At least he finished college. So if he had been doing drugs and he had been doing drugs, why would they just put it on him saying that he had been doing drugs? Both of them had been doing drugs. Another reason why is because the alarm was set by the sister that night. The alarm was set. And as the cops said, when they went in and they said, the killer is inside. And that's when they said, separate those kids. So they separated these two, the sister and brother, and they questioned him. They took him in because immediately he was a suspect because of the fact that I guess when they went further and they saw that bullet he had practiced with that same gun when he lied at first and said he didn't know about the gun. Then he said that he had been playing with it like some weeks prior. Then they pulled up some messages. When they took his phone, he had, I guess, an iPad or something like that, and they pulled up where he had said, how can you blow up a car? Also, the sister, he put on the sister that she tried to burn up the house when indeed he was playing with alcohol that he had put in a bottle and burned the stairway and put it on his sister. So at that time, that young man could have been on drugs, you guys. And it was a mistrial. It was 8 people that found him guilty, and the other 4 just couldn't do it because of the grandmother. The grandmother still, I guess in her mind, she feels that, well, my son is gone, but at least I still have AJ. You know, because people, and especially because she's a minister, they just want to see all good. However, that's how those people with Jim Jones went down. They wanted to see all good, so they did everything he said because they was blind. And they couldn't see the forest for the trees because of their own thinking. Sometimes we can think it's God. It could be the devil telling us all these things. But whoever killed these 2 people, and it leads to this young man here, will have to pay. So he's not out of the woods. He still has a monitor on his leg. He has a monitor on his ankle, and he has to be home at a certain time because of the fact that the prosecutors, everyone do believe. Now, what got me in court, I don't know if you guys saw this, but to back it up a little bit, this was a prestigious couple here. They had a gym in Bear Lair, which is a prestigious area in Houston, Texas. Not many blacks can even own a business in that area. I mean, they had it going on. They were professional people. They had their kids in the best schools. And so they're trying to say that it was someone else probably did it. But if this young man put it on this young man, wouldn't he know his energy and his vibes? How would he know where the gun is and he does not live there anymore? But he knew where the gun was. Why did he shoot his mother allegedly twice in the head? And the DA pulled it out, maybe because he was more angry with her than his dad. Another thing is he had practice with the pillows. Now, when I saw that, I mean, at first I was trying to give the little boy a little slack, you know, because I was like, how could he do that? Oh, that can't be. I was thinking like his grandmother at that time. But when the DA pulled out those pillows in court and showed where he had shot through a pillow practicing the sound with the bullet from that same weapon now that killed these 2 people, his parents, the same identical weapon, that was a no-brainer for me and for most. I don't care how people think. The evidence pretty much speaks for itself. I do believe that that young man did kill his parents. He was angry at them. I really do believe that within all my heart. And I really, really don't want us to forget about these 2 beautiful people. You know, I've known them through passing in Houston, Texas. Everybody have seen them. And he was an ex-football player. They had it going on. And this young man, because he was angry at his parents, allegedly killed them, or they wouldn't have locked him up. An inside weapon with an inside job. The reason I'm saying that, because you guys know, a professional intruder, first of all, he's coming with his own weapon. He don't have time to dig in this young man's mother's drawer and father's drawer to try to find that gun. He's going to come in blasting. And then if he's seen him, he's going to kill him too. He's going to wipe out the whole family and go through the entire house. And the little note that was sitting there was kiddified. So they're saying when he went to jail, someone else broke in the parents' gym. Well, that could have been anybody because they knew that he was in jail and they'd heard about that note that was left, so they're going to leave the same notes. Copycats are copycats, just like with the Malia Davis story. So many kids are getting killed because their parents are copying off of the Malia Davis story. Like the little Cedric Jackson, the aunt's boyfriend killed him over ketchup. The girl in New York, she strangled her kids. All that happened after the Malia Davis story. You have a lot of copycats going around. So if they heard about that note, that could have been the reason that that note was left behind at their gym in Bear Lair, Houston, Texas. So that could be that reason. But I still believe that this young man used his gun and killed both of them. To shoot the mother in the head, why would any intruder want to shoot a woman twice in the head anyway? If They didn't really know her. Why? It would be somebody that was very angry, and it was maybe the bullets were not enough to shoot him twice, because remember he used the gun prior to practice. That could be a reason also that he shot her twice and shot him once, because the bullets in the chamber may not have been enough because he had already practiced with the gun prior. This is all allegedly, and it was a mistrial, and 8 people thought the same way. 4 of them just couldn't do it. They possibly were mothers and their hearts were in it, and they probably, didn't want to even do the trial, but they were forced to. So you guys, what do you think about this A.J. Armstrong story? Many people think that he is guilty because the gun was inside of the home. And they saw on his phone when he stopped talking and playing with his phone. And then that happened after that. I think it was 1 a.m. in the morning or something like that. These people had the timeline down, and the police went in and out of that property. The alarm had to be on and off. And their attorneys paid for someone to come in to say there was a defect in the alarm. However, the alarm detected someone in that house going down the stairs, which is where the gun was laid in the kitchen on the kitchen counter. Wow. Now, I heard someone say, well, maybe the sister did it. But that was ruled out because the sister was asleep. And then I heard someone say, well, maybe both of them did it for money, because they were really strapped for on-hand money. However, it was told that they had a living trust, and it was worth $1 million. So you guys, let me know what you think. Do you think, let's just not forget about these 2. So now that he's living, everyone's just thinking about him like his grandmother, because he's actually a living person, like they were living before allegedly he killed them with pillows over their heads. And then they said that the adopted child did it. If the adopted child did it, why didn't his attorneys put him on the stand? Why? Why didn't they put him on the stand to question him if he did it? If they had any clue that he did it, he would have been in court. He would have went to jail. If they had a clue, he would have been arrested. And the girlfriend said he was at her house playing with his cousin, playing games, even though he lived around the corner. And see, a smart narcissist person, it could be a young person, because young people, they think they're smarter, too smart for their own good, some of them, and they get caught. They get caught because they slip and they leave something behind. Like he left the bullet hole in his room behind, the pillow that he had used to practice behind, everything behind. Unbelievable. Let's not forget the A.J. Armstrong couple that was murdered in Houston, Texas, allegedly by their son, A.J. Armstrong Jr., when he was 16. So let's keep up with that, and let's pray that they get justice, just like we've been praying for the Malia Davis story. And let's pray that the grandmother understands why people are feeling the way they do, because they're feeling like that for her son that was murdered, not her grandson that is the alleged killer. And that's just the way it is. It's just no way around it. And people are going to feel how they want to feel, but the evidence, the gun in the house, he knew where the gun was, he practiced with the gun, he looked up how you blow up a car, he was bad in school, his mother was getting on him, his daddy was too, they took his car, he got kicked out of school for bad grades. I mean, it all points towards him. It all points towards him. There was no DNA on the gun, and he even told the cops you won't find any. How are you going to tell the cops what they're going to find unless you have cleaned it up? And they said there was time enough to do so. So all of that stuff, it was an inside job, an inside gun. As I said earlier, if an intruder is coming into anyone's house, they are coming in to kill. And if he saw them, he's dead too. That's all I have to say. Really. And if this young man thought that this brother killed his parents, he would have known his movements. He would have been going, man, why you kill our parents? I mean, I wouldn't care if he had a mask on. If my brother or sister walked in my house, I am going to know their energy, their vibe, their stature, the way they walk, the way they run. I will know. And did they have time to set that alarm back? Because remember, he let the cops in. The alarm was on. So did they have time to set it? I don't think so. I think it was an inside job with an inside gun, with an inside note, with an inside child. That's what I think. Let me know what you think. Please click like, share, and subscribe, and I'll be coming back with more. But let's please not forget this beautiful couple in Houston, Texas. They had a prestigious gym called The Classics in Bel Air, Texas. I mean, let's not forget them. Let's not forget them, and let justice be served. Thank you once again for tuning in to Celebrity and Variety Talk. I'm your host, Josie Latimer, and I'll talk to you next time. So don't forget to click like, share, and subscribe. Bye.